When you think of a boring city, what comes to mind? You might picture a small village, a town on a desert, a city lacking culture, or even a major capital. Each of us likely to point to a different location. But how can we avoid such places to save time and money? Generally, we turn to the internet, watch video reviews, or ask friends for their opinions. In my research, Athens emerged as one of the most depressing cities. Many describe it as hot, crowded, dirty, overpriced, and burdened with significant financial issues. However, I uncovered another lesser-known location that has been labeled the most boring capital city in Europe. Since I was already in the Balkans, I decided to investigate this for myself and share my findings with you. Enjoy. There aren't many places that I want to visit in this world, but one of them is the former country of Yugoslavia that existed until 1992. And my dream has come true, and the first Yugoslav republic I'm starting the journey in is Montenegro. And this video is going to be about the most depressing city, or the capital city in all of Europe. Let's find out if that's true. Take a comfortable seat, grab some popcorn, and let's go through the lands of the South Slavs. Hello, Podgorica? I want to inform you that Montenegro got its independence from Serbia in 2006. Therefore, the official language here is actually Serbian, and they use the Cyrillic alphabet as well. And now we're beginning our 3-hour trip to Podgorica, and let me show you the beautiful scenery of this country. We began our journey in Kotor Bay, and no words can describe the majestic nature of this place. I thought we would be driving around the bay, but unexpected twist soon added to our excitement. Now, since Kotor Bay is quite a large body of water, we have to take the ferry on the bus, which is quite cool. I've never seen that before. You can cross the bay from Kameneri to Lepetanje for free, on foot or by bus, but a small fee applies for private cars. The trip takes about 20 minutes and it's a cool experience. The country's small population of 600,000 is quite mixed, and that's because of its past. 45% of the population identifies as Montenegrins, 29% as Serbs, 12% as Bosnians, and 5% as Albanians. That's quite a big salad bowl. Therefore, this country should be rich in different types of culture. Now we made our way up from the coastal town of Budva to Podgorica through the mountains. The total trip took 2.5 hours and it only cost 10 euros each. I cannot recommend enough traveling in Montenegro. Comrades and nomads, welcome to Tito grad. Well, that used to be until 1992. Now it's named Podgorica. We're going to explore why is this considered one of the most depressing cities in all of Europe. However, as you probably might know, if you search right now on YouTube, one of the depressing cities is actually Athens. There's a lot of people who are making videos on that topic. And that's for different reasons. Athens has a lot to see, but it has a really tough economic situation. And I'm quite confident this city has a different story. But let's find out what makes it so boring. Zdravo, это что?
Televizija Crna Gora.
Okay.
U Crnoj Gori je bila teokratija.
A Tito хороший был?
Tito je dobar bio.
Dobar?
Bio komunist. Ja sam također komunist.
Коммунист? Oh.
Također.
I think we just found our first stop in the city. It looks like something that was built before 1990s, during the communist era. Even by the stairs, you can tell that this is a beat-up place that has not been taken care of for some reason. But according to a gentleman we just spoke to, this is the television headquarters. And if we come closer, you can see the old sign. Ulaz TV. Look, it's old. It's original? Ulaz TV. This?
Yes.
Yeah. What year the building?
1978.
1978. Oh, communist era.
Yeah.
And it's still working.
If you want to film communist buildings,
Yes.
you have Blok. It's a really beautiful part of town,
Yeah.
but it's all communist buildings built in the 70s, and you can see genuine communist architects.
All right. So how come they're not remodeling this building? Fixing?
We
You
are
don't know?
just common
Oh,
workers
okay.
here.
Okay. All right. Hvala vam.
Ciao.
Thank you. Ciao. Wow, these guys are telling me that this building was built in 1978. You can definitely see a typical Soviet communist architecture. The strange part to me is even the people don't know why it's not being reconstructed or remodeled at least. Well, anyways, I don't find it so depressing. It's actually a historic building to me. We continue to the communist block recommended by the guys we just met.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we just found the commie blocks of Montenegro. And they are quite unusual with this architecture at the top sticking out. I've never seen anything like this before.
This is one of the most fascinating districts of Podgorica. Block 5 is a typical example of the town planning policy in the period of late 1970s in Montenegro. The neighborhood consists of 13 buildings up to 16 floors with approximately 1,800 units. The plan included wide streets, sufficient parking space, playgrounds, one elementary school, 2 kindergartens, this is one of them below, a clinic, supermarkets at the building's entrance as you see it here, pretty clever design by the way, sports grounds, and of course lots of greenery. Yet nobody seems to be responsible for the maintenance of residential buildings and the green surfaces. Block 5 should be proclaimed and protected as a new cultural heritage of Montenegro.
That is some impressive commie blocks. The Yugoslav architects really tried their best to stand out. And that definitely worked out because 30 years later, we are taking pictures of it. Our next stop is actually not so far, just across the street. And look at this beauty. Wow.
The Cathedral of the Resurrection of Christ, part of the Serbian Orthodox Church, was completed in 2013. It stands out for its unique design, which differs from the typical Byzantine style. I admire how the raw rock at the bottom transitions into polished finish. However, the most important highlight is the ceiling fresco depicting a burning hell, with Karl Marx, Friedrich Engels, and former Yugoslav leader Josip Broz Tito. The architect might have assumed few would notice this detail, or he could have added intentionally, leaving the artist unknown. This fresco sparked a debate, dividing public opinion. Some see it as a symbol of putting communists who oppose the church into hell, while others argue the resemblance is unclear. Unfortunately, that artwork is no longer present.
The church is really impressive, however, we didn't find what we were looking for here, and that's super special and the only place where they had this at. We are currently walking on a street that is named Moscow Street. And that's because Montenegro and Russia has very close relationship for the past 30 years. We'll see many more symbols and monuments that represents this.
During our walk, we noticed something strange. Law offices lined up one after another. I guess lawyers prefer to compete in the same area of the city. Then we found this.
According to many urban experts, this is the main highlight of the city. It's called the Millennium Bridge.
The bridge, which opened in 2005, is an impressive structure that connects 2 sides of the city and has quickly become a prominent landmark. However, I don't think it's as unique as the concept of building 4 bridges in such a close proximity to the original. Never seen anything like it before. Anyways, let's find out what else this city offers.
Another monument that a lot of people might not know from the English-speaking world is Vladimir Vysotsky. It's a very famous Soviet singer, but also an actor. And this is a gift from Russia.
I didn't quite understand why there are flowers for opposition leader Alexei Navalny, who was recently killed. I suppose the answer they are both Russian.
So, if you go 10 meters away from the statue of Vladimir Vysotsky, you find this bridge. And this bridge is also a present from Russia, specifically from Moscow. And this is the reason why it's called the Moscow Bridge. Also, check out this beach. This is the Podgorica public beach that's open during the summer. Well, you can come even now if you want, but the water is quite cold.
We skipped swimming despite the nice weather and continued our path towards the old town. On the way, we ran into a historic figure from Yugoslavia.
Zdravo. Это Tito?
Ich weiß es nicht, glaube ich ja.
Oh, Tito, Kommunist.
Woher kommen Sie denn?
I'm sorry, do you speak English?
Nein.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Deutsch.
Deutsch? Oh, no, Deutsch. Deutsch?
Deutsch?
No.
No, ist Tito.
Tito, okay.
Ja, können Sie Foto machen.
We just found one of the most controversial statues in Podgorica that was erected in 2018, not so long ago. And that's because this is a statue of Josip Broz Tito. It was initiated by the local mayor. He insisted that we need to remember the fight against fascism. And who was the leader? Who was the main general? Of course, it was Tito. I find this man very interesting and very smart in terms of making communism work in Yugoslavia, when people actually lived in peace for 35 years. And this is the reason why they honor him to this day, not only for fighting the fascists. A very powerful pose. And looks like that's his height. By the way, since we're talking about Tito, during World War II, Podgorica witnessed 70 bombings of the city. It was almost level to the ground. So everything that you can find in the city is relatively new.
This is my favorite type of bridge style. It's the oldest one in Podgorica, built during the Roman times and crosses the Ribnica river. Of course, it has been damaged throughout the years.
And luckily, the bridge in the 18th century was restored by the Ottomans, and they named it in the honor of the person who sponsored that construction. His name is Adži-Paša.
The bridge leads to a castle and then Old Town.
We've entered the neighborhood that is near the bridge, and you can tell that this is a Muslim neighborhood because of the mosque. And also it makes sense, since the guy who built the bridge or restored it, he used to live right next to it. Muslim quarters, as they call it.
This 19-meter clock tower is one of the few Ottoman landmarks that survived the bombing of Podgorica during World War II. It was built in 1667 by Adži-Paša, the same person who repaired the bridge.
We've came close to it to find out more information, but this is the result. Somebody has stolen, for some reason, the billboard. Coming across the street from the monument of King Nikolai, which is the last king of Montenegro, and we're finding another gift from Russia, specifically from Moscow, of the Russian poet Pushkin and Natalia Goncharova.
I won't provide background on a Russian poet as it is common knowledge like Shakespeare. However, I can tell you that there are nearly 290 monuments to Pushkin in 46 countries.
We have arrived to the city center. This is the Independence Square, and check this out, how bizarre this is. Here you can find the Yugoslavian style concrete building. Then we have the apartment buildings. And that's so weird that you have people drying their clothes overlooking the city center. Have you seen that anywhere else? I don't think so. This is what makes Podgorica so unique. Hello. Zdravo. English?
Little.
Little? Vodopad Niagara.
Okay.
How much?
15 i da vratim 10-25.
Tam 20 minut?
Može.
Okay,
može.
okay.
Okay.
Okay, zdravo, zdravo.
Bravo. Vi Rusi, šta ste?
Rusija, Ukrajina.
O, dobar spoj.
Da, da, da.
Pomalo srpski pričate, a? Nema crnogorski jezik.
Crnogorski jezik, nema. Aha.
Nema. Ima, ali ja srpski pričam.
Pa, говорят, интернет, Podgorica nudna город.
Ne,
Правда или неправда?
Zašto kažu da je Podgorica dosadan grad?
Nije dosadan. Ne. Ima Podgorica beautiful, fina Podgorica.
Beautiful.
Pričaj srpski da te čita svijet razumije.
Вы из Podgorice?
Ja.
Podgorica.
Ja.
Всю жизнь?
Da, tu živim.
Коммунист?
No komunist.
Нет коммунист?
No komunist. Pravoslavac.
Православец. Учили русский и английский?
I engleski.
Okay.
Ali zaboravio sve. To davno bilo.
On the outskirts of the city, just 15 minutes away, you can visit the Niagara Falls. It's not something massive, but it's convenient to have such a beautiful place so close. Plus, in the summer, you can swim and sunbathe here.
I'm not sure exactly how close it is to the Niagara Falls, but it looks pretty nice. That's another activity for you to do in Podgorica.
The same charismatic gentleman gave us a ride back to town, where we discovered the cafe located under a bridge. The story behind this bar is that it used to be a Turkish bathhouse during the Ottoman era. While the building itself has survived, the interior has not fared as well. It's now a cool, hipster spot to grab some cocktails in the shade.
Nomads, don't ever jump to conclusions by just watching several videos on YouTube. This is the reason why we just check the myth. Is this city really boring or not? Well, it's not depressive, that's for sure. Is it boring? No, I wouldn't say so as well. We saw quite a lot today. Therefore, you should travel on your own and figure it out the truth. Thanks for watching this episode. Don't forget to leave your thoughts, put a thumbs up, and subscribe. Until next episode, nomads. Ciao.